Hello everyone, it is Killer Shrew Fan here, ready to bring you yet another exciting Killer Toy review. Today we've got something exciting for you. It's this guy, the new for 2017 Safari Ltd Dinocheirus. I hope I'm saying that right. Anywho, if you recall any of my past videos, you may be well aware I was not planning on picking this guy up. I had no interest in adding him to my collection, but I did get a request from Zpino The Dino, I hope I'm saying that right, to do a review video of this figure. And here at Killer Shrew Fan's Killer Toy Reviews, we aim to please. So we're gonna give you a closer look at this guy. Starting off at the head, if I can get you a better look here, as you can see, he is a very feathery dinosaur. And I believe that's rightfully so. I know Deinocheirus is a rather odd duck, and saying that, looking at him, he does have a very duck-like look to him. I think it's definitely prominent in the head and the paint job. You've got a nice fleshy gullet there. That and the mouth area are the only parts of this figure that are not covered with feathers, excuse me. Going down the neck, you can see that Safari Ltd has sculpted all of the individual feathers. Real quick, the eyes, they look okay on camera. I think it's because I'm zoomed in pretty far here, but when you just kind of have them sitting there, you can't really see them very well. They're kind of lazy, if you ask me. Going down the body, you get to the midsection, which contrasts this white neck. It's got a sort of mustardy color. I know it looks kind of orange in my lighting here, but it is a mustardy look. Going down the arms, you've got some lovely arm feathers, and then you come to the other scaled parts of this critter, which are the hands. You've got some lovely weathered back plate scales on the fingers there, and then some bland black claws that really don't have any weathering going on in them. On the underbelly there, as you can see, he is white down here, and you've got all the pertinence. Kind of hard to read with the washes that they applied. Dinocheirus, Safari Ltd 2017, Miami, Florida, made in China, all that good stuff. You've got that lovely, iconic hump of the Dinocheirus right there, which is Safari Ltd has not failed in this lineup to provide as accurate figures as they can, so it's great to see that they're paying so much attention to the actual anatomy of these creatures. Going down the legs, you've got some powerful and yet bird-like looking calves here, some lovely scaling on the feet on both sides, not weathered claws yet again. I'm getting grumpy about that. On the other side, it's the same story. Powerful thigh, bird-like calf and leg and foot there. Going down the tail, as you can see, the feathering does continue all along this body. Safari Ltd did not skimp on any of that. And you finish off at this little fan-like feather protection. I don't know if that's accurate. I know Velociraptors and other dromaeosaurs did not have the fan of feathers at the tip of their tail. Deinocheirus might have. I don't know much about Deinocheirus, I will admit. So I might have to look into that, but that's just the feature at the end of the tail there. Overall, this figure, as I was saying, has a very duck-like look to it. I think it's definitely in the sculpture and definitely in the, paint job there. I don't know what kind of duck exactly, but yeah, I think it's definitely there. The colors, like I said, are a mustardy yellow with some white stripes here and there, but I think the best part of the paint job here is definitely on that neck area there, where you can kind of see a little bit of the orange underlaying the white, and it gives it a nice layer. I mean, the rest of this figure, the white is just sort of garishly applied over the orange, except maybe on the underbelly. That's another good example right down here where you can see the orange peeking through, and it really adds a nice layer to it. There's a little bit of darker colors to sort of bring out all the feathers, but not a lot. Really, that's all there is to say about the look of this figure. I wasn't a fan, I will admit, when they first released promo images, and I'm still not. Having him finally, after all this time, I gotta say, I do not love this figure. But let's do some sizing for you. So just how big is this Duckasaurus? Well, let's bring in my shatterproof ruler that is kind of shattered and get a look-see here. So from the tip of the snout all the way to the back of the tail, you're looking at right around 7.5 inches long, somewhere in that zone. And from the base all the way to the highest point, which is the head in this case, you're looking at right around 3.75 inches, so a good size figure. Let's do some size comparisons for you. We're going to start off by bringing in the also new for 2017 Safari Ltd Velociraptor. And we have reviewed this figure, so link will be down below. Feel free to check out that video. I gotta say, seeing these two side by side, I do think the Velociraptor is far superior to the Deinocheirus. And I think that has to do really with the paint job. I think that the dry washes that they did over all these feathers make them stand out much better than they do on the Deinocheirus. And the color isn't as garishly applied in the case of the Velociraptor. I mean, you've got these just white stripes on this Deinocheirus, which is, you know, yeah, it's harsh, and, you know, I don't like seeing harsh paint jobs when it comes to my dinosaur toys. Next up, we will bring in the also new for 2017 Safari Ltd Coelophysis, and seeing these two side by side is kind of funny because they are very, very similar, both in color and in the way that they're sculpted with the sort of hair-like feathers adorning the entire body. But yeah, they both have that sort of orangey Cheeto color with a little bit of white on the underbelly. I don't know if Safari Ltd just ran out of ideas when it came to color schemes, or what the deal was with that. But yeah, these two have very similar paint jobs, which is kind of disappointing. I wish they kind of stood out a little better from each other. Alright, and I actually do not have any other Deinocheirus models to show you. This is my first Deinocheirus. But in lieu of another Deinocheirus, we're going to bring in our trusty-dusty banana comparison, so you can get an idea on how this figure would size up to your average everyday banana. So not a bad size with this toy, I just think it could have been a little more interesting to the eye. That's really my final thoughts on it, but we'll get into that in a minute. Well, there you have it, folks. Our look at the new for 2017 Safari Ltd Deinocheirus. I think this figure, I'm going to give it a 6.5 out of 10. It is a step, a small step, but a step nonetheless above that Coelophysis figure that we compared it to. But really, you know, I didn't have any interest in it at first, and having it now, it doesn't excite me in any ways, which is a bit unfortunate. Another thing that I forgot to mention is mine had balancing issues when it showed up. I think that's just mine, but with their tripod, with their dinosaurs that don't have to tripod, especially that feathered T-Rex, it's sort of been a trend this year to have them be front-heavy, which makes them fall forward. I haven't seen it in anyone else's. It might have been just mine, but just something to take into consideration. Yours might have balancing issues when it arrives. So yes, 6.5 out of 10, that's my final thoughts. I think it could have been much better, but well, for what it is, it's not bad. Definitely not my favorite of Safari Ltd's new lineup, but definitely not my least favorite. Anywho, I want to know what you guys think of this Duckasaurus. Let me know in the comments below. Do you love him? Do you hate him? Is he just sort of Do you even own him? Are you planning on getting him? Let me know all that in the comments below. I want to give another special thank you to Zpino The Dino for requesting this figure review. And remind all you guys that if you have a dinosaur toy that you want us to take a look at, don't be afraid to leave a comment and let us know which figure that is. As always, I hope you enjoyed our review. If you did, don't be afraid to hit that like button and subscribe to Killer Shrew Fan for more killer toy reviews. We will see you in future videos. Bye-bye.